that's a super lame ending. I can't end saying it was a tie. What's going on YouTube? Taylor Prentice back here with another video, and in this video I'm going to be determining which brand I thought had the better spring summer 2023 collection between Supreme and Palace. So I know this is a pretty heavily debated topic every year. People love to compare Palace and Supreme, so I thought I would go ahead and do that for you guys. And if you guys want to see my final opinion, make sure you stay around till the very end of the video. Okay, so before we get into it, I wanted to lay a few ground rules. So the way that I am determining which of these brands had the better year is going off of these 11 sections that I've selected. So we have outerwear, knitwear, hoodies, tops and shirts, t-shirts, pants, shorts, hats, shoes, accessories, and collaborations. And it's not super easy because the way that Palace does it, they have like a spring collection and a summer collection, where Supreme does spring and summer all together, which is a little bit nicer because you have everything just in one place. But for the Palace stuff, I will have to switch back in between these first two tabs. But keep in mind, all of these pieces are from the spring summer 2023 seasons. So yeah, starting with outerwear, I think I have to give this one to Palace. So just some of these jackets are insane. I thought Supreme also did a really good job this spring summer with outerwear. I was actually kind of surprised when I went back and looked at it how many of the pieces I actually really liked. But some of these jackets from Palace are just insane. Like this downtown jacket is nuts. Like the embroidery on this is just out of this world. And this jacket was super expensive, but I'm not factoring in price for this discussion. I'm just going off of what pieces I liked the most. And yeah, there's just a lot of outerwear jackets from Palace that I could see myself wearing. This varsity jacket is definitely one of them. This puffer jacket I thought was beautiful. Definitely gives me like early 2000s vibes, and the fact that you can attach and detach the hood is a really nice touch. This racing jacket was pretty cool. I loved this Zen work jacket. This is one of my favorite pieces from either brand from this year. I thought Supreme did a good job. Like these faux leather jackets were really fire. Some of these like parka style jackets, these down fill jackets were pretty fire. But overall, I just thought that I would buy more of the Palace outerwear pieces than I would the Supreme ones if I had just unlimited money. Although like some of these Supreme ones were really nice. I like these like more work style type of jackets. I thought they did a really good job this year with those. So round one goes to Palace. And the next thing we have is knitwear. So I believe in this section, I'm going to give it to Supreme. So I thought Palace had some nice items. I really like this cardigan. I thought this hoodie was cool. I just didn't really like the colorways on that hoodie. If there were more colorways, I think I would have liked it a lot more. This cycle type of jacket is pretty fire. I like the Temptation knits. I thought those were cool. The stripe knits are cool. The summer knits were not really doing it for me from Palace, but yeah, I thought just Supreme did a really good job with these. We have the Kurt Cobain sweater, which was like a huge item for Supreme this year, but I thought some of the other pieces were really nice as well. Really like the sparkle cardigan. The scarf sweater was really cool. I like the beaded applique cardigan. And yeah, I thought there was just some cool knitwear. This Big Cats jacquard long sleeve I thought was really fire. So I guess that's where it gets a little weird, is some of these are like considered top, some of them are considered knitwear, whatever. I would still consider this jacquard long sleeve a knitwear piece. We had the gradient zip ups. Those were super fire in my opinion. So yeah, definitely gonna give this section to Supreme. And the next thing we have is hoodies. So I am also going to give this one to Supreme just off rip. So I thought Palace did a good job, but I thought a lot of their pieces were kind of repetitive. Like if you look at them, it's a lot of tri-fergs and a lot of just like Palace arch logos, or this font, whatever that is, the like slightly slanted font. So I just thought Supreme was a little bit more interesting in terms of hoodies. I do think there was a couple pieces that Palace played with that were really cool, that were just kind of out there. Like this tri-pocket hood, the hood on that one, or the pocket on that one's really weird. We have this tactical zip, which has those like the vest part built into it. So I thought they did some unique stuff that was cool. But overall, I do think Supreme did a better job. It's really ironic. My favorite Supreme hoodie from this year, probably, there's a couple that are just up there with it, but my favorite one is this Divine zip up hoodie in terms of like just design, but I don't really think I'd wear it because there's a drag model on it, so that gets a little weird. But I really like this over dyed hoodie. I liked this beaded one. I liked the reverse one. So yeah, there's a lot of cool hoodies. Obviously, like the box logos you can never go wrong with. So yeah, hopefully in the future we'll see some more cool graphics on hoodies from Palace. I really love this Palace Forever hoodie. I was actually planning on buying it, but I was a little too broke when it dropped, so I didn't end up getting it. Although that was one of my favorite Palace items. So again, we have another close section here, but I am gonna nudge this one out and give it to Supreme. And then next we have tops and shirts. So I think I'm gonna give this one to Palace actually. So I really loved this lace shirt. I thought that one was just beautiful. They did a really good job with like these rugby tops. They kind of always do every season. It seems like they've got some really cool rugby tops out there. I really like this like color blocked Oxford. I thought that one was really cool. I really like this like soccer style jersey, this Massimo Forza crew. This racy t-shirt was cool. And then there were a couple like tops from Supreme that I thought were cool. Like I did buy this Chanel Crest logo tee. I thought that one was really fire. But there was just a lot of misses. Like there was a lot of pieces that I really didn't like. I thought this football jersey was cool. I thought this, I guess this crochet football jersey is more of a knit. I thought the Umbro stuff was cool, but overall, not much to get hype about in my opinion. This was a really close battle. Looking at the shirts for Supreme, because right there I was just looking at the tops. It gets so weird with all the categorizations that these brands have, but I do think these shirts from Supreme had some really promising pieces, like this Novu shirt, this patchwork shirt. I actually bought the basket weave shirt. I love the two-tone corduroy zip up. Big ass two-tone Glock, I can't wrestle. Beat his weight time dead since I met you. So yeah, this one was pretty neck and neck for me, and I think I said Palace won it at the beginning. And I don't know if I have to go back and select a winner for this section, I will. But right now I think I'm just going to leave this kind of at like a tie, because there's definitely pieces that I would wear from both brands, and after going back and looking at it, there was more stuff from Supreme that I ended up liking than I remembered. And the next thing we have is t-shirts. I know for a fact this one is going to Palace, so they just had a lot more t-shirts. I thought the summer tees for Supreme were like all right, but I think there was just more Palace tees that I like the graphics on that I would wear. This like Fortunate t-shirt was really fire in my opinion. I really like this like Startup tee, which is just a rip kind of on the Google logo. This wedge t-shirt with the ripped skateboard guy was pretty cool. I just thought their graphics were more fun. And it is also cool that the colors of the graphics change depending on what blank you get, whereas Supreme, it's pretty much always the same graphic, same colors, no matter what blank you get. So I appreciate the variation from Palace, and yeah, t-shirts going to Palace for this one. Next we have pants. So this one might like just be my style choice, which kind of all this is just my opinion anyway, so I don't really know why I said that, but I do think easily Supreme had this one in the bag. I think they always do a really good job with pants, and this year was no exception to that. There are a lot of pants that I could see myself wearing. The Archive denim, this flocked regular jean, this patchwork 5 leather was chef's kiss. The Gons Poem denim or chino pants I could definitely see myself wearing. Even some of the regular just like stone washed slim jeans I thought were really cool. The sweatpants are usually cool. I really like these over dyed ones. And Palace just has a lot of like, it's kind of like athletic style pants. it's kind of, I don't know, they just don't really do it for me a lot of the times. And there was a couple cool pairs of jeans. Like I really loved this chain script jean. I really liked this Temptation jean. This Cityscape or Downtown jeans were really fire. But like I said, I just think Supreme did a better job with pants. And then next we have shorts. So neither brand really releases like a ton of shorts, and I think this one is going to be close to another tie. If I'm thinking about it correctly, I'm going to do some more looking. I really like these Forza shorts and these Run It shorts. There's a lot of shorts from both brands that I could see myself wearing, but I just don't want to drop the money on like shorts from these brands because they're so expensive. I did end up getting these gradient grid knit shorts in the white and like colorful colorway. I thought those were really fire. I really want the Umbro shorts. These are something that I'm going to try and pick up in the sale. Really like the Geo Velour shorts as well. But yeah, overall from both brands, there was a couple standout pieces as far as shorts go, and then the rest of them were just kind of whatever. I do think, looking at it now, maybe Supreme has a slight advantage, and that's how I'll leave it, since I did have a tie earlier. But yeah, we'll give Supreme the slight advantage, but this one is pretty close to a tie in my opinion. Next we have hats. So I don't really care about hats. I'm not like too big into hats. We have a ton of camp caps from Supreme as always, which don't love camp caps, so that kind of might hurt them from my perspective. But some of the hats were really cool. This crochet hat I thought was cool. This straw crusher I thought was pretty fire. I like it when they use like different materials, and I feel like in the last couple of seasons, Supreme has really ventured out and started to make some creative hats, which I do appreciate that, even though I don't really care that much about hats. The sparkle beanie was cool. Scarf beanie was cool. The roses 6-panel was like alright. It was like a cool idea. I feel like the execution wasn't crazy. So yeah, I don't know. Flat bills and like truckers are more my style, and I actually thought the truckers and flat bills were pretty weak for Supreme this year. I thought their other hats were much cooler. And then Palace, they do a lot of like dad hats too, a lot of 6 panels. But I don't know. I think now that I'm looking at it, I have to give this one to Palace. I just think there's more hats from them that I would wear, and more that like capture an aesthetic in my opinion. Like this golf shell 6-panel, you know, that's like a golf style hat. This faux leather snapback looks like just something from like 2012 that would have been super cool back then. We have this like gigantic PAL hat, which is just a Giants logo. We've got this racing hat, and this, yeah, they just, I think Palace did a better job of creating memorable hats in my opinion. I think the Supreme hats are pretty cool. I don't think they're bad, but I do think Palace just did a really good job creating memorable pieces, like this lace bucket hat. There's just, yeah, like a lot of, I keep saying memorable pieces, but for lack of better words, very memorable hats from Palace this year. So that takes us into shoes, and I didn't even want to talk about this topic. So Supreme doesn't have most of their shoes listed because most of their shoes are collaborations. We had the Nike, the Vans stuff. We had a Clark's collab. There's maybe a couple I'm forgetting. We had a Doc Martens collab with Supreme that I actually really liked. As far as Palace, we had these slides. Then we had the Reebok clubs, and I think really that was it. Oh yeah, we had these Sambas. And the Uggs, which were hilarious. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. In terms of which brand had the better shoes, neither brand really had shoes that I would wear. I would like maybe wear these Sambas, and I would probably wear those like Doc Martens, even though they really aren't my style. So I'm gonna give this one a tie for now, but I'm not really leaning either way. Was not really impressed with either brand's shoes for the year. Then we have accessories, and I think, yeah, so bags are kind of lumped into the accessories. I think Palace definitely had way cooler bags. I feel like Supreme was really lacking on the bags this year. Like the woven stuff was really cool, but the mesh stuff, not it. the field stuff is just kind of whatever in my opinion. I really like those woven bags though, but yeah, Palace just had cooler bags. Which I guess they didn't have any bags in the summer season besides this tote, which is kind of crazy. But these like corduroy bags were pretty fire, and I really like these leather ones as well with like the monograms worked into them. So for the bags part of this, definitely goes to Palace. And then for the actual like more accessories, I think this might also go to Palace too. I loved the dartboard. Supreme always does a good job with accessories. So again, we have another section that's really, really close. I do think the bags for sure were like a W for Palace, but the rest of the accessories might go to Supreme. So again, we might have another section that's a tie. I feel like a cop-out kind of just saying every section is a tie, but like the Tamagotchi stuff was really cool. The belts are always really cool from Supreme. This Batoni Ramini blue vase was really cool, just really expensive. The bobbleheads were cool. Just a lot of fire stuff. Like having a credenza or a hockey table from Supreme would be just super crazy. And I didn't think Palace had any accessories that really blew me away like that. Like that are just kind of like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like if I walked into someone's house and saw this dartboard, I would be like, yo, that is nuts. But it wouldn't be the same effect as like walking in and they have an air hockey table. It's just a little bit different of a level. So accessories, gonna give this one to Supreme. And then the last one we have is collabs. So I might be missing some collaborations, but I went through and just made a list of the collaborations, like all the ones that I could think of from this past season. And Supreme, as you guys can see here, they had the Kurt Cobain, they had the Cactus Plant Flea Market, they had Hollywood Trading Company, which was those belts and accessories. They had the Umbro stuff, which I thought was really fire. Definitely trying to get those shorts in the summer sale. They had the Ronin stuff, which I thought was really cool. The artwork was all by the same guy. I forget who it is, but when I'm posting pictures of it, I'll definitely have his name up there. I think it was Frank something. He did a really good job with those. We had the Nike and North Face stuff, which was kind of underwhelming, to be honest. We had the Undercover collaboration, which I ended up getting something from, but overall, did not think was like the craziest collab. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. We had those Doc Martens, which I actually really liked, even though not really my style. We had the Timberland collaboration this year, which like I don't even really remember it from this year, so I guess that kind of says something about it. We had the Kuji collab, which I thought was awesome. Hopefully we see them collaborate with Kuji again in the future. Thought that one was really cool. Definitely one of the more creative collaborations for this year. We had the Jacob & Co. collab. That was terrible in my opinion. Those bracelets were hideous. Couldn't imagine paying that much for something that looked so mid. Then we had the Clarks collab. Those shoes were interesting. I thought the black ones were okay, but yeah, I don't know, just a little bit too much going on. We had the Bernadette Corporation collab, which I did not like at first, but as time goes on, there's a couple pieces from that I do like. We had the Hardee's collaboration. There's not too much in that collaboration for me, but it was cool to learn about the Hardee's brand. Then we had the Vans collab. Not much there for me either. And then we had Mobb Deep as well, which I thought some of the t-shirts and stuff in that were cool, but overall, just no collaborations that really, really blew my mind. Like I said, the Kuji one was my favorite, but yeah, not too great for collaborations for this year for Supreme in my opinion. And then we had Palace, and I'm not going to sit here and act like Palace had like way better collaborations. They actually had less collaborations, but I feel like they were a little bit more creative. So the first one we had was Ramoa. Supreme's done a Ramoa collaboration in the past as well. So I don't know. I didn't really think it was that cool. I'd rather just get like a plain Ramoa, to be honest. I thought the Palace graphics on the Ramoa pieces were a little bit weird. Then we had a Reebok collab. I thought those left a lot to be desired. Then we had a collab with Porter Yoshima. I thought those were cool. The tees were cool and everything. Just not a super exciting collaboration. Then we had UGG. I did not really like those pieces, but they were definitely like a statement. So I respect that collaboration. Hopefully we see them do more stuff in the future. We had an Avisu collaboration. I thought a lot of those pieces were pretty fire. Just it was kind of out of my budget at the time, but I thought they did a good job with that. We also had New Balance. The colors in the New Balance collaboration were phenomenal. They did a great job capturing that like retro feel, and just overall it was good. All the pieces were nice. The shoes were pretty fire as well. Then we had Spitfire, and I thought that collaboration was kind of lazy. I felt like they could have done a better job with that. Then we had the Oakley collaboration. I thought that one was really, really nice. So it was cool to see that. I hope we see more collaborations with them in the future. The last one we saw from them was like a surf style type of collaboration, if you guys know what I'm saying by that. I did not like that one nearly as much as this year's. So hopefully we see some more like neutral colors. I felt like that was just like more fitting for Oakley, and I thought, yeah, just a lot of those pieces came out and were really, really fire. We had Vans collaborations with Palace as well. Again, half cabs, like not really my style. And then we did have some t-shirts. I thought the t-shirts were pretty cool. And then we had the WWE collaboration, which, like, in my opinion, was just not very good. A lot of the pieces look like stuff you could get at like Zoomies or like PacSun. I like the idea of the collaboration, but yeah, the execution was just not really there for me. So COLLABS is gonna go to Palace as well. So I made a list before this video of like which ones I thought were better, and I was just gonna read it off that, but after looking at it a little bit more, I think I changed some of my opinions. So I might have to like go edit the video and then come back and record like which ones I thought were the best, because I don't really remember what I said. Okay, so I did have to go back and look and see, but I actually ended up in a tie. So I had 3 categories that I considered a tie, and the other 8 categories were split right down the middle. 4 going to Supreme, 4 going to Palace. That's a super lame ending. I can't end saying it was a tie. So I went back and I did have 2 notes on 2 of the tie sections. So for the shorts section and for the shoes section, I did have myself leaning a little bit to the Supreme side. So I'm going to go ahead and give them an extra point. I felt like on the tops and shirts category, I was split right down the middle. So yeah, based on that, Supreme wins. There you have it. Let me know down below how you guys feel about that. Do you guys think Supreme had the better year? Do you guys think Palace had the better year? Obviously, this was just my opinions, and my opinions are fluid as well. So you might ask me in like 6 months which brand I thought had the better collection for the spring summer season, and I might give you a different answer. It's hard to tell. Both brands are pretty neck and neck in my opinion. There's definitely not a big quality gap in terms of design or like actual like quality of the items from either brand. The price ranges are pretty similar, so I feel like yeah, it just comes down to personal preference. And personally, this year, I preferred Supreme, even though I think Palace is doing really good things. So, yep, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much if you have made it to this point, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.